We went to them because we need some kind of action, and instead we've received silence.
The Native Women's Shelter of Montreal has been trying for 6 months with no success to get the Quebec Human Rights and Youth Rights Commission to launch an inquiry into alleged systemic racism at Batshaw Youth and Family Centers, accusing them of discriminatory practices, racial profiling of Indigenous children, and a lack of Indigenous representation. The Native Women's Shelter and the Centre for Research Action on Race Relations say the Commission has yet to respond to them, calling it a slap in the face.
When you have nowhere to turn, you assume that the Human Rights Commission will be there to help you, and to be ignored is tough to take, because where else are you going to go?
The Human Rights Commission is very likely the closest public agency that has the official mandate to look after human rights, protection against discrimination, and youth rights against abuse of the rights of children. And it's very astounding that we have no answer and no even a call to the Native Women's Shelter.
Quebec's Human Rights and Youth Rights Commission tells City News in a statement, the request for investigation presented by the Native Women's Shelter of Montreal includes different elements concerning our three main mandates: discrimination, youth protection, and equal access to employment, for which the Commission's powers differ. Therefore, the Commission is still analyzing the request in all its complexity to give it the right answers in accordance with the powers and limits of our three mandates. The rights of Indigenous peoples are a priority to the Commission, and we are hoping to give answers to the Native Women's Shelter of Montreal in the coming weeks. In September, the Native Women's Shelter ended its partnership with Batshaw, citing inaction on Indigenous youth protection. They stopped their meetings just weeks before they submitted a request to the Commission to launch an inquiry into Batshaw.
We were seeing Inuit children and their families being told not to speak their language when on supervised visits. Inaccurate identification of Indigenous children and families has continued.
In October, Batshaw told City News they welcomed any inquiry from the Human Rights Commission, saying it provides an opportunity to respond to the allegations and demonstrate their action plan that's been put in place. Quebec Native Women reiterates its support because we think it is important that the file or the rights of children in terms of protection and security is ensured. We aspire that our children in Native communities, and perhaps even in an urban environment as well, can receive a service taking into account Indigenous realities.
We know that the Commission has a problem with excessive delays, but when it involves the safety and the development of children, there should not be any delay.
We are all sounding the alarm that there needs to be some kind of change.
In Montreal, Alysia Rubertucci, City News.